Hello, hello. It's the end of April. It's 10 p.m. Eastern. Time to get ready for the weekend, for Saturday cartoons, sci-fi Saturday night, and all that enjoyment that you have over the weekend. We're still here, even though the weather is getting a lot warmer now, bringing you a lot of the nostalgia that's going on. Thank you for tuning in. What to expect on this edition of Saturday Pre-Flight? We talk about the resurrection of the Hanna Barbera Studios. That's right, folks. Hanna Barbera Studios is on its way back. We discuss a little bit of what the issues might be for that. In our off-the-shelf segment, a Gene Roddenberry failed pilot that is a classic. We'll be discussing a little bit of that. It's something that you might want to put into your video library. And we'll be checking in with Svengoolie as Mayberry month begins tomorrow on Metv with a classic comedy horror. You'll get a thrill out of this one. This is one I want to see this weekend. But first, let's start with the Fast Five. That's right, folks. You know, we're going to be doing this every week on there. We're going to give you 5 sort of stories down there, what is going on, some things we've covered on Man Man with the Show, and some stuff that we may be covering in the future days on Man Man with the Show and on Saturday Pre-Flight. First up, Warner Media. There's a rumor out there Warner Media may be cutting the Blu-rays. If you haven't caught the video yet, please do catch it. It played out on Wednesday's edition of Man Man with the Show. We discussed basically there's a possibility that Warner might just basically cut Blu-ray and DVD production as they push more into streaming into the HBO Max site. We're seeing a lot of production houses and stuff like that getting closed up, sold, pushed out, erased. I mean, this is what's happening over at HBO Max. Don't be surprised. You know, this is things that have been a long time coming, long time warned. Also, this week, Sunday, the Oscars hit, and it had the lowest, and I'm telling you, the lowest ratings in history. This is a show that used to push 30 to 40 million viewers per broadcast. I mean, less than 10 million. They try to prop it up a little bit and throw a couple of 100,000 viewers in there, but still, it's horrible. And the reason is because people don't want to watch the politics. I mean, those who watched gave it an F. Also, getting back to HBO Max, we heard the merger with Adult Swim, Cartoon Network, all that they're trying to merge everything into one animation company under the Warner Brothers banner. We saw this happening. We said this is the end of Cartoon Network, Adult Swim, Toonami. There's been a steady decline in the last decade on children's television. Even the kids don't want to see this. I mean, we saw Nickelodeon try to push a propaganda spin on the environment, which kids don't want to see that. They don't want to see that. They want to see cartoons. They want to see good cartoons, not repetitive cartoons that's preachy to them. That's not what they want. Next, we've gotten news, and we'll be talking about this next week on Man Man with the Show. The original 1977 movie Heavy Metal is getting a new adaptation with Range Media Partners. It's possibly for a TV series or something like that, or a film. Knowing if you've not seen Heavy Metal, one of the greatest anime of all time, with a great animation, great soundtrack. I mean, this was really good, based on the comic book magazine of the same name. Which has been faltering a bit in the last couple of years, of course, because like everything else in the comic book industry, wokeness has snuck its rear ugly face in this. And finally, The Flintstones is getting an adult animated comedy sequel series, Bedrock, starring Elizabeth Banks, which, oh man, this is going to be really bad. It's supposedly at work at Fox. This might be Fox Disney. I don't think this is Fox Corp. I've been trying to find that out myself. We're going to be talking about this also next week, because we're trying to find out all the information, because basically what everyone's been talking about is Fox, 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 Fox with Warner. But Fox has been separated, two different companies now. You have Fox Corp, which is Tubi TV, and then you have Fox Entertainment, which that's what this is supposedly be, which is Disney. So basically, you know, we got this coming, and it sounds real horrible, because basically they want to go from the Stone Age to the Bronze Age, not knowing history, obviously, that the Bronze Age came in many years later. And you know that they're going to come in and just butcher this completely. So that's our Fast Five for this week. You know, one of the things I loved growing up was the Hanna Barbera cartoons. And I loved them. The Flintstones, the Jetsons, Scooby-Doo. You know, it was so many TV series. You know, some of them were on Saturday morning cartoons. Some of them were on weekday afternoons. You had plenty of them. As the years went on, they started to make movies, which were fun as well. Some of the cartoons faded away. You were able to get them on DVD, VHS when they came out. As the years went on, as the political scheme started to walk in on all this, you know, things started to change. I mean, we already just reported in the Fast Five that they're working on a new Flintstone TV series, which looks, from the premise, looks really bad already, and we haven't even gotten the full premise yet. Hanna-Barbera Studios, founded by William Hanna and Joseph Barbera back in 1957. That's over 63 years ago. Oh my God. This is how old the Hanna-Barbera Studios are. Like I said, they dominated the TV genres with stuff like the Huckleberry Hound, the Flintstones, Yogi Bear, Wacky Races, Scooby-Doo, Smurfs. They won various awards, Emmys. They even have a star on the Walk of Fame. They created some great stuff throughout the years. I mean, for a while at Universal Studios, you even had a ride. You went on that ride. That was a fun ride to go on. It was a moving theater studio. In other words, it literally, you sat in a studio that just on front of a big screen, and basically the seats move. But if you got a little motion sick, there were seats that were not that didn't move, and you got to see the full video of what was going on. I mean, throughout the years, they were very successful. They adapted many shows into newer shows. I mean, you had stuff like Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kids, Goober and the Ghost Chasers, Inch High Private Eye, Clue Club, Jabberjaw. I mean, there was so many series lists. They went through the years to create a lot of stuff on there. I mean, even the Super Friends TV series with Addams Family, they've done. See the original C-Lab before the guys at Cartoon Network tore that one apart. Godzilla, Buford and the Galloping Ghost. I mean, I'm throwing names out there that you've never seen before. Do get a chance, go through their list. There's some great stuff out there from Hanna-Barbera. Get it before they start butchering it or it disappears. By the 90s, Ted Turner acquired them and absorbed them into Warner Brothers Animation, Cartoon Network and Warner Brothers Animation, which eventually we had the Boomerang channel come after that, which had a ton of the classic stuff on there, which was great to watch. Some of the stuff was even on Cartoon. As we got into that, we had gotten some great series like SWAT Cats, Two Stupid Dogs. I mean, there was some great series that came in the 90s toward 2000 when the studios folded in and just literally became Warner Animation. But now what we're hearing, and we got this word via Deadline, is that Cartoon Network Studios Europe has been rebranded as Hanna-Barbera Studios Europe. So that means this is the return of Hanna-Barbera Studios, in a way. Because you know, that basically Warner is folding everything into one animation studio for HBO Max. Anything that's coming out now, brand new in animation for Warner Brothers, is HBO Max. And we said back this week on the beginning of the end of Cartoon Network, Toonami, Adult Swim, because pretty much they're not going to see new programming immediately. What's going to happen is, and you'll start to see it in the next year, is going to be a lot of repetitive, and everything is going toward streaming first. Discovery Channel already does this. That's why Discovery Plus has all the new programming behind a paywall. All you're getting on the Discovery Channel broadcast is basically the older shows, and after a time period they'll bring the newer shows there, but basically everyone has already seen it. Why do you need the channel? Why do you need that when you have it already on another network? Because basically this is the phase out of the television networks. The only thing that's probably going to be left behind is going to be all the nostalgic channels. When they say that basically nostalgia is a fad, no, it's not, because basically people are tired of all the new programming that's out these days. They're tired of being preached to. We'll read a little bit into this on the Deadline report. Warner Media is reviving the iconic Hanna Barbera animation brand as it renames Cartoon Network Studios Europe. The London-based studios will become Hanna Barbera Studios Europe, inheriting the name that was synonymous with titles including Scooby-Doo, The Flintstones, Jetsons, and Yogi Bear. The studio is currently in development on the Amazing World of Gumball movie, which is a working title right now, but that is going to HBO Max. The upcoming feature-length TV movie based on the Cartoon Network series The Amazing World of Gumball. Hanna-Barbera Studios Europe. Other shows include The Heroic Quest of Valiant Prince, Ivanhoe, and Elliot from Earth. The unit will be led by Sam Register, president of Warner Brothers Animation and Cartoon Network Studios, and Vanessa Brookman, head of Kids EMEA. There are a few names in the anime industry that elicit such relevance and joy as Hanna-Barbera, said the Register. Brookman added, "It's an enormous privilege to be expanding our EMEA studios in the name of one of the most prestigious, beloved brands in animated history." Now, like I said, Hanna-Barbera has been a long life standing with this. Like I said, there's been many, many shows. I love everything that came out of it. There was some great cartoons. In the latter, of course, obviously Dexter's Laboratory, Johnny Bravo, Cow and Chicken, New Adventures of Johnny Quest. Actually, The Real Adventures of Johnny Quest. And some of that appeared on the Turner Channel. And, it was enjoyed. You didn't have the preachy things. You didn't have basically people, checking off check marks on a page. You had a cartoon, and it worked. Why can't we have that again? Why can't we have that? No, because basically you have people out there that don't belong in this business. I guarantee you there are a lot of people that are at Warner right now. Why AT&T is allowing this, I don't know. Because they're going to be losing money for this. You have these people that are in charge of all this fandom, and they're not fans themselves. People who are in this business should at least know the programming. They should know the shows. They should know the movies that they're working on. You always hear a lot of people, if they get a movie project and stuff like that, oh yeah, I sat there for months reading on the books, watching the TV series, watching this and that, just so I'd be able to know what is going on. Now these days you hear someone who's directing a series, I really never read the comic, I really never watched the series, I just took the script and went with it. But that's not the way to go. That's not doing your job right. That's not doing the research. When you work on something like this, you got to research it. We do these shows, we do research. Even though it's just me, that's why some of the shows end up to be a little bit later than usual, because we want to make sure we're accurate the best we can. And that's, we make mistakes, but that's why there are erasers on there. But unfortunately, there's a lot of mistakes in this industry. And this is the cannibalization of children's television. There has been a steady decline in the last decade or so on children's broadcast television. And we've seen this. We've seen the decline over at Nickelodeon. We've seen the decline at the Disney Channel. We've seen the decline at Boomerang, Cartoon Network, Adult Swim, Toonami. We've been seeing this for quite some time now. When you have the animated character on Toonami preaching politics, that's where it ends. That's really where it ends. These shows, a lot of these shows were based originally for kids, young teens at the time. Now that we are adults, it's gauged to us because it's nostalgic television for us. If you plan to make new series, you can't start doing the checkbox. They've already tried this years ago. Really, truly. They really tried this, and it didn't work out for them. You can look this up on Hanna Barbera. Basically, there's been a lot of series that Hanna Barbera tried doing. Some of them worked, and most of them didn't, because basically, kids don't think that way. If you're making a show for kids don't want mindless cartoon violence. There's nothing wrong with a rabbit dropping an anvil on a hunter. They're not going to go around and grab an anvil and drop it on somebody. There have been many jokes of that. And, you had a lot of people in politics try to use that as political propaganda to run their elections, saying that, hey, cartoons are too violent for kids, but, it caused them to be violent and stuff like that. But yet there have been scientific research after research, paper after paper that explains has nothing to do with that. You're looking in the wrong direction. I grew up, I'm not violent. I grew up with cartoons, plain and simple. I grew up with science fiction and all this. I read the books. I read the comic books. But yet they want to destroy all of this. Now they're going after the Flintstones. They're going after the Flintstones now. You see this. I'm so glad MeTV has this. And also, Tubi TV has also gotten the rights to all the seasons of the original Flintstones series, Scooby-Doo and Scrappy-Doo, and one other Scooby-Doo series that they will be showing starting in May, starting next month. One of my big favorites was SWAT Cats. That was a great series. If you never got to see this, it is a great series about a world of cats and two superhero cats who fly around in a jet that they made themselves. That these guys were they work in a junkyard and they built their own weapons and suits and stuff like that. And it was a fun series. It was like a 26 episodes season, and it didn't go beyond that. I mean, a lot of people said, oh, why can't they bring it back and stuff like that? Yeah, if they do it right. If they do it right. And they're not going to do it right. We're hearing, all the changes that they're trying to make on things. They're trying to change certain characters, make them more minority driven, or basically genderize them. I mean, this is a kid's cartoon. Kids don't care about this. I mean, back we talked about a little bit how Sesame Street said, oh, we're now diverse. You've been diverse for years. Well, we have our first Black Muppet. So no, you forgot about Franklin. You've always had one. You stopped using him and went in another direction. And now you're patting yourself on the back and saying, oh yeah, we've always had a diverse TV series in Sesame Street. We've always touted diversity. Carol Spinney, we knew back for years when we worked on the Rabbit TV show. You say you enjoyed doing it. I mean, we have a couple of best of Rabbit where we kind of did some things with the Muppets, some funny stuff on there. And of course, Big Bird and Oscar called in one of our episodes because we had live calls back then. But he always enjoyed doing those. I mean, what would he say today with all this? I mean, all this ridiculous banter that they're doing. You know, they're going slowly but surely on everything. They say, well, we're not diverse on this. We don't have proper representation. But it was there. You're just using it as political propaganda to tell people that people are wrong. That this country is a bad country because we've never done it this way. That's why the attack on films, the attack on TV series, the attack on cartoons, because they want to hide all this stuff. They want to hide all of this because basically they just want to strip it out, get rid of it, and say it never happened. But those of us who are still around, we know it happened, and we're going to continue to push this. When you have shows like this, Saturday Pre-Flight, where we talk nostalgia, and we got someone who commented that basically they said, you know, what's in all the nostalgia? That's what this show is. We need to keep it up. That's why I keep saying, buy physical media. Get as much as you can. Do what you can. Purchase it on eBay. Purchase it used. Go to swap shops. Go to places where they sell videos cheap and stuff like that. Buy them up as best you can. Save them as best you can. You know, get yourself more than one video unit. Get yourself a multi-regional DVD or Blu-ray player, so you'll be able to get stuff from overseas as well, because there's some great stuff from overseas, and there's some stuff that's not available in the U.S. that basically I've told Enemy Mine is hard to get. Obviously, you know, you have a Disney movie that, you know, that is available overseas and not available in the U.S. because they call it racist. You know which movie I'm talking about. That's how I got to see it. And it wasn't the way what they were describing. It happened to be a good film, a little slow. It was a story. It was a story. A person telling stories. That's all it was. What were they afraid of? What were they afraid of? And that's the problem. You know, people have done things throughout the years. They say, we've never had this. But it happened. It is there. They say, well, this is the first. No. Look back in history. History is there for a reason. This is the reason why they just want to get rid of it all. They don't want you to learn. They don't want to tell you in school what was going on. They don't want to tell you in the history books what was going on, because basically they know that they're wrong. And basically they're using it as propaganda. And now they've got their reaches into Hanna Barbera. How much would they be doing on Hanna Barbera? What would they be doing to this company as far as what would they be producing? We already seen Bedrock coming, and you know, are the Jetsons next? You know, is Yogi Bear next? We don't know. I mean, they already, look what they did with Wacky Races, how crazy the new Wacky Races was. You know, and that was before really woke. You know, and they did a number on that. Wacky Races was always fun. That was always a fun series to watch. So we hope somebody will step in and just really smack these people into reality. Really throw some water in their face, cold water. So let's really hope that someone out there gets smart and create a real classic channel for kids, without any of the political emphasis, checking boxes, just pure simple cartoons. Maybe Metv might want to spin off a channel of that nature, because we need afternoon for kids, we need morning for kids, we need Saturday and Sunday cartoons for kids. We need cartoons 7 days a week. Yes, you say there's streaming sites out there and stuff like that, but you know what it is? kids are on the run. They're not going to be sitting there like, what do I want to watch? What do I want to watch? What do I want to watch? No, just play it for them. Just play it. I mean, there was a time I remember they used to play Heckle and Jekyll cartoons at McDonald's. McDonald's used to have like this projector unit that, especially if you had birthday parties, that they used to show cartoons like Heckle and Jekyll and stuff like that. And that was great for kids. Kids sat there. The parents would be like, could you put on the cartoon for the kids? Because the workers would always forget to come down and turn it on. So, like I said, let's see what happens. There's a lot more coming. We will be discussing more of this next week on Man with the Show. And let's see what goes on. And now, folks, another edition of Off My Video Shelf. This week, a great find that I got. Warner Brothers Archives released this particular video, not as a single movie, but two. And it comes from one of the great creators of the science fiction TV series Star Trek, Gene Roddenberry. And Gene Roddenberry, other than Star Trek, he's made many different series. We know from Andromeda, Earth Final Conflict, but most people don't realize, not once, but twice, he tried to get TV series off the ground in the 1970s after the end of Star Trek. Basically, it is a good concept. Some of it has sort of been repeated in some ways or another, and some people might say, well, this is something from other series on there, but it is well done. It has been remastered into Blu-ray. It's still a 4:3. It's not a widescreen restoration. It's a 4:3. The sound has been improved, considering how old this film is. And it is a movie, even though it's a pilot, really. And it has two separate names for the pilot, as most of the cast are not in both movies. The first one was called Genesis 2. The second one was Planet Earth. But it was the same plot. It was the same exact plot, but basically taken from two different angles as Roddenberry tried to improve and get this pushed out. They're about a year apart. 1973, 1974. Obviously, Genesis 2 was written by Gene Roddenberry, directed by John Lewin Moxey. The movie starred Alex Cord, played Dylan Hunt. Now, if you know that name very well, the character in the Andromeda series was called Dylan Hunt as well. As you can see, Roddenberry did recycle names on there. Mariette Hartley was also in there. Ted Cassidy, you know him as Lurch from the Addams Family. He was also this, and he had more of a speaking role in this. Do catch it. It's kind of unusual hearing him speak in there, knowing him, watching him from the Addams Family. Of course, Percy Rodriguez and Harvey Jason. The basic plot of this is Alex Cord, who was also in Airwolf. He played Archangel in Airwolf. He plays a scientist that is experimenting in ways of suspended animation to help astronauts sleep on longer flights. But an accident caused the cave-in to the lab, and he was sealed in there for 150 years, where he awakens after a war that pretty much sent mankind back as far as technology, as far as the world the way it is. It's a much different world with mutants, Barbary, slavery, and basically he's trying to figure out who to trust in a world of this nature. Majel Barrett, who in future will become the wife of Gene Roddenberry, also stars in this movie as well. And she stars in both Genesis 2 and the Planet Earth TV series as well. She plays two different characters. And besides only Ted Cassidy and Majel Barrett are like one of only two characters that gets transposed into the 74 version. which Alex Cord is replaced by John Saxon, plays the same character. One funny thing as far as character names, Baylock is used, who's played by Christopher Carey in this, Janet Moglen. Also Diane Muldaur, who, if you've seen her in she was in an episode of Star Trek, the original series. She's shown up in that series as well. As you can see, you had some Star Trek veterans in both of these made-for-TV movies. The differences with Planet Earth and Genesis, the locations were changed a little bit. Plot line was readjusted. This time around, this is directed by Mark Daniels. The writing credits on there is Gene Roddenberry and Juanita Bartlett for the teleplay, and the main story was Gene Roddenberry. The plot line itself, of course, it's the suspended animation, which basically they don't. In Genesis, you've seen that. They kind of skip over that part. It's only mentioned in passing as narration in the beginning of the movie. But the main storyline stays pretty much the same of the place Pax, but the locations have been moved to a city. It looks like what they did was the mutants that had the city, they kind of flipped that because they were Pax, the main group, were living inside of a mountain, and then it was switched over to the city of Pax. That's one of the major things. But the premise of this, they're looking for a doctor to help with someone who was injured, who was shot in the back through the heart. They needed an emergency surgeon, which they heard could be in a territory where it's run by women who dominate men and sell men into slavery. So it has a slavery aspect to it, because the world has changed greatly like I said, in both Genesis and Planet Earth. There's barbarism, slavery. There are many emphasis on how the world has become a more, as they say, less technological world, with the exception of Pax, who have tried to save that technology. I mean, you've heard that, like in the first movie, there are, you hear nuclear reactors and stuff like that. And then, of course, that bullet train that they have, which they're able to use to transfer themselves. It's a train that runs underground, that circles around the world. That's the most technology that they have. Everything else is from scraps. Like there's a scene in Planet Earth that they're using automobiles. The barbarians, they're using a fixed up automobile, which is basically about 150 years old. Because that's how long it's been elapsed. It's about 150 years that has elapsed that Dylan Hunt has been sleeping. But all in all, this is a great film to watch, and it's great to get on DVD. It's under $20. The price seems like it's going up because I don't think it's going to stay in print long. I grabbed my copy under $20. You can get it on Amazon, on eBay. Most of the places do have this available. Some outlets are running out of it. So like I said, do grab it. I mean, it is a great view. You could see where Roddenberry, what direction he was going with. After Star Trek, between Star Trek and Earth Final Conflict. Because you have to remember, he had a slew of TV series afterwards, and basically some of them were good. Earth Final Conflict was good. First half Andromeda was good, but it kind of faltered at the end. I mean, like I said, Gene Roddenberry was a genius when it came to science fiction. And he had no problem and you could say this, and you don't really talking about things that were going on at the time politically. But it's not rubbed in like they do today. It's done in a way that it's just a secondary part in the background when they discuss it. They talk about slavery. They talk about, the politics of, having the infrastructure of technology and not having the infrastructure of technology. What is more important? What's best in life? Yeah, do catch it before it's gone forever. Well, we reached the moment in the show where we basically find out what's on your mind. Yeah, that's right, folks. We answer your comments Well, let's start off with this. This is on one of our other social media platforms other than YouTube. Amy Do Fan 27. I used to watch Spenguli Metv on cable until 2019. He's a very funny guy just before I now watch TV without cable. Now I'm a 26-year-old male and still love the timeless classic comedies. Born in 1994, but really enjoying the timeless classic TV on Antenna TV, the channel, of course. Never get tired of classic TV for me. Thank you for commenting on there. It is true. Basically, what you're dealing with these days is a pushback to classic television, classic animation, classic anime, plain old classic TVs and movies. Some people out there mention it's just a fad. It's a fad that's it's going to be here and gone very quickly. I think it's going to be with us for a while. Look what's on television these days. Look at what happened at the Oscars. They've lost more than 50% of their viewers. They're already down to less than 10 million viewers from originally what it was about 30 to 40 million viewers on an Oscar broadcast. That's all you got to do. And tell me, you can comment below. Have you heard of some of the movies that were listed there? I may have heard of maybe 2 or 3, and I'm in the business. Thanks again for commenting. James Doodles on one of our other social media platforms loves some MST 3K. It's so nostalgic, like Thanksgiving. Yeah, it is, James. It is. You look at the situation, the way how popular Mystery Science Theater 3000. There is a channel. They've done 2 episodes, and they're doing a 3rd one coming up this May. I think it's the first week of May. And it's their own version of Mystery Science Theater 3000 with the robots and stuff like that. I guess they get hands on the puppets. There are either they built it themselves or they bought them themselves. It's pretty well done for what itself. I mean, they use some of the elements from the TV show, but hey, listen, it's a fan video. It's created by fans for fans. It is a great show, and hopefully we'll get a lot of episodes. There's still time left to basically donate to their Kickstarter. If you want to be a part of that, I'll link it in the description below, so you'll be able to click over and hey, give a little bit of money. You don't have to give a lot. You can give a little. I think the lowest is $5. I think is still available, and we're about 60-70% there, which is not bad. Not bad with not so many days left. I don't think they'll get above 6 episodes. I think that's what it is, unless you get a real good push in the end. So thanks again, James. Tomb Globe, who discussed about our video cartoon on Mad Men with the Show. I agree with everything you said in this video. Thank you, Tomb. A lot of people have been. You're seeing, and as you've seen on this particular episode, we talked about Hanna Barbera. We're seeing the decline of the cartoons. You're seeing people that shouldn't be in this business doesn't understand what is a cartoon. Cartoon is not to spew political rhetoric, check boxes in the column. It is basically, some of it's made for kids, some of it's made for adults. The ones that are made for kids, stop preaching all this. Stop preaching about the environment. Stop preaching about racial disparity. Stop with all the politics altogether. It's a cartoon to basically, just let off some steam from the week, from all the studying and everything that goes on. To have some fun. They've taken the fun away from kids, plain and simple. And this is what they want to do. They want to give propaganda on these shows. Thank you, Tomb Globe. Thank you for commenting. One of our regulars, Johnny Hernandez, puts in the Flintstones, Scooby-Doo, where are you? And Scooby and Scrappy-Doo are coming to Tubi on May 1st. Yes, we do know that. We have a video coming out next week on Mad Men with the Show. Plus, also, there's a ton of other stuff that's getting released. A lot of classic stuff, like the Monkeys. The Monkeys TV series is coming to Tubi TV as well, and a lot of other, and a great classic spy film series is coming as well. And we'll discuss that next week on Man Man with the Show. Something a little tease for next week. Thank you, Johnny, for watching, and thank you for commenting. Please continue watching. Caddy Momo, the nostalgia is killing me right now. They're talking about the last week's pre-flight where we talked about the Jackie Chan movie. Caddy, yeah, I understand, nostalgia, but remember, this particular show, we deal with a lot of nostalgia here. Nostalgia is right now king, because unfortunately, and if you've seen what's out there, what's at the Oscars and stuff like that, it is just pure crap. And there's been a push to watch a lot of classics. I challenge you, Caddy, take a moment, look online, or go to your local store or online where you purchase DVDs or Blu-rays. Find something that you would not think to watch. Pick up something that, hey, listen, it might be the category you like, but you never think to have watched it. Pick it up, give it a watch. You never know. You might find something new that it may be nostalgic, but it's new to you. All right. Thanks again for commenting. Please continue watching. Yakko Warner. Well, I hope it's Yakko. You're all still talking about MeTV. Yes, Yakko, we do talk about MeTV here a lot because MeTV is popular right now. MeTV happens to be a great channel. If you have a moment, flip over to it. It's got some great shows, especially on Saturday night. I mean, you got Saturday morning cartoons. You got westerns in the afternoon. Early evening, you got the Three Stooges. Starting at 8, you got Svengoolie, and then science fiction the rest of the night. I mean, you got some stuff with Star Trek, Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea, Lost in Space, Land of the Giants. You got so many great shows on there. So many great shows. I mean, there might be something there you might like. I mean, the Flintstones, the Jetsons. I mean, there's so much there. And like I told Caddy, grab something there. Grab something at MeTV. Tune in. You might find something you like, a show you like. Right now in the afternoons, when we're taping these, they got all the crime shows on. They got Matlock on. They got In the Heat of the Night, Adam 12, all those great cop and detective shows and mysteries that are on daily on there. And the overnight, you got Alfred Hitchcock and you got Perry Mason, Mannix, some great shows that all over the place. Yakko, thanks for tuning in and commenting. Kids WB, I doubt Warner Brothers is on there, but hey, I like the page on there. Please bring us back, FCC. We missed the kids. WB, bring us back. Not going to see that anytime soon. Warner Brothers is focusing on HBO Max. That's what it's going for. Kids television has been in, if you haven't seen the episode on it, it has been on the decline for the last decade now. And if you watch the beginning of this episode, and we talked about Hanna Barbera returning and stuff like that, you see what is going on. They're just scorching earth. I mean, there's going to be a point where Cartoon Network is going to be gone. Adult Swim is going to be gone. Toonami, Boomerang, Nickelodeon, Disney Channel. All these channels are going away. The kids are not tuning in because they are also tired of the preachy stuff on there and the repetitive of everything. Everything is repetitive. Teen Titans, there's so much you could take on Teen Titans Go. The same episode over and over and over again. They don't have consistency. They don't have the old cartoon like they used to be. They're bringing back cartoon, but it's not going to be the same cartoon. They're going to be checking boxes on there. They're going to preach politics. We saw from Nickelodeon that they're trying to, preach environment stuff on there. Kids don't want to see that. They have enough of that having that preached at school. It's, let them have their fun. Cartoons are to have fun. Stop taking away the fans of cartoons and the kids. Stop taking away the stuff that basically relaxes and they enjoy and get rid of all the frustrations of the week. That's what it was. Saturday morning was just to get rid of the week, get rid of the freaking, the exhaustion you had during the week. You sit back, relax with that cereal bowl, dig in, and you watch some great cartoons. Thanks again, Kids WB. Angry Birds Toy Adventures. Doraemon will be a fitting for Metv because I think it is a memory to remember, but it's unappreciated to many fans and disappointing. Yeah, I do agree with that with the Doraemon, but I don't see it on Metv. What we need is a anime site that caters to basically classic anime. Stuff from overseas, and not only from Japan, from Korea, from many other different countries. We need that kind of a site because you'll be able to concentrate on that because there are so many things out there. Right now, Tubi TV has a lot of great classic programming out there. I know it's not too hard to find. There's not a set site for Doraemon, but you can find it. Ho, 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 if you understand what I meant. Overseas, the Disney Plus channel has it on Hotstar. For those of you who are watching overseas in many of the places that do enjoy watching stuff like this. Like I said, right now at this moment, as far as a nostalgic point of view, MeTV, I don't think they will go the way of Japanese cartoons at this time. The only thing I think that can get close to it, probably as they get more and more closer to the 80s era, Mask, some of the stuff that like the Transformers and stuff like that was animated overseas, but there were American shows to begin with. That's the closest you're going to get right now. But I would recommend go over to Tubi TV if you love those old classic animes. They got a ton of them there. Check them out. They're enjoyable. I mean, right now they're adding Anipaman, which is great. Dr. Slump hasn't appeared yet because I think they're in the middle of translating those or restoring them actually. And a couple of others. I know there's couple of the One Piece original movies are available there, Galaxy Express 39, and many others. Thanks again for Angry Birds, and thanks to Kids WB who also agrees. I don't think so. Thanks again. Isaiah Williams, who has commented before, not only educational programs is the problem. These 6 channels were ditching Saturday morning cartoons. It was the WB, UPN, Fox, and ABC, for example. Yes, many years ago, most of it, part of it was because of government intervention. They were pushing to get more. There is a time and a place for educational programs. You can have it. The way you could throw in a little bit is the way like ABC had, which had the little blips in between when they used to, they used to do a lot of those little cartoons in between commercial breaks. You could do it that way, but don't, completely wipe out the Saturday morning cartoons. Kids need a vice. They need something to just get rid of all of that. We have a new generation of kids that really, truly don't know these original cartoons. I mean, right now, as I, going to be reporting, you have the Flintstones, Scooby-Doo series. They're going over to Tubi TV. I mean, that is fantastic. You already got Flintstones and Jetsons on Sunday morning MeTV. You got Tom and Jerry back. You got Popeye. You got so much out there. And are they watching? Do they know it exists? If you're parents out there, and I know I have an older generation of viewers out there, take a moment, sit with your kids on a Saturday and watch these shows. Hey, some of them may be over the top and ridiculous for this time, but they were, when we were kids, we enjoyed them. And kids ain't going to care about, the situations that go on that people keep saying that, oh, this is bad, this is bad. They like to have the fun, like I said, they took away Elmer Fudd's gun. Why? Why? He's a hunter, okay? He's hunting Bugs Bunny. That was the joke. They say, oh, kids will pick up guns. No, they're not. You took away all the things of them playing, which was relaxation for them, and you just didn't care. You didn't care. Now you're preaching this whole sexuality things and stuff like that. It's ridiculous. Let the kids grow up. Let them play. Let them enjoy cartoons. Isaiah Williams also comments, I don't know about MeTV airing Huckleberry Hound because the things they're going to have a big problem since I recorded the episodes of the Flintstones on my DVR and VHS tapes. I was happy when the Flintstones were on MeTV. We all know that's the best. Lately, I've been noticing a little bit more in what HBO Warner has been saying. Huckleberry Hound might or might not be available at this time with certain other characters. Now, don't quote me on that. This is taken as a grain of salt. This is from some rumors that are going around on there. I know there are some battles by classic television companies that are nostalgic channels that are trying to get this. Also, people like Tubi TV and a couple other classic streaming sites that are trying to grab these nostalgic cartoons. But Warner happens to be one of them that is making it harder. Disney, forget about anything classic coming over to a MeTV type situation because they're not going to let it go. They need all the programming they get because they're trying to get all the subscribers that they can get. And if they come over because they have one particular classic cartoon, that's a win in their column. Isaiah, thank you very much for commenting once again. And finally, Cats fan. The Jetsons were removed from my MeTV station for only one episode. I'm glad you got it back. This TV, it was my sister network, MeTV. MeTV made a Saturday morning block in 2008 called the Cookie Jar Cartoons on this TV. I'm pretty sure my MeTV affiliate, WPTA, because MeTV replaced my QVC affiliate. Not only that MeTV is great, Grit TV, and this TV was a part of MeTV. Getting a little bit of that confusion of those three comments, let's start with one. Yeah, actually here on our affiliate station on the East Coast, we still are waiting for the Jetsons. Unfortunately, we have a Sunday morning show. MeTV, once again, if you're out there listening, negotiate something with them. Move it an hour back. You can move that programming an hour back. You can. Now, the last two. There is a shuffle, Cats fam. There is a shuffle of affiliate stations because there's a change in frequency note on there. You probably had QVC, like you said, something of QVC. Yeah, you had QVC on one channel. There's a couple other channels that are shuffling around because of the new frequency codes that they're putting into place by a company that has bought over some of these lines. So basically, yeah, you'll see some changes and stuff like that. Glad you're watching Grit TV. Grit TV is another channel that's very good on there. Got good westerns and stuff like that on there. That's another nostalgic channel. Thanks again, Cats fan. Thank you all for commenting. Don't forget, you can comment below on all of our social media platforms. That's right, folks. You have the choice of where you want to comment. Don't be afraid. Just stay civil. Keep the language to a minimum. Thank you again for commenting. So we've reached the part of the video where we're going to check in with MeTV and what's on this Saturday on Svengoolie as we're starting Mayberry May month on the MeTV. I guess it's a celebration of Mayberry and Andy Griffin. So let's check in and what's on the movie this week.
The month of Mayberry kicks off with a big question.
Do murder and calm go together? Calm and murder?
Don on stars in The Ghost and Mr. Chicken on the next Svengoolie. Saturday night at 8/7 Central on MeTV.
That's right, we're getting the classic Ghost and Mr. Chicken, 1966, starring Don Knotts, Joan Stadley, Dick Sargent, Liam Remmen, Skip Homer, and Philip Ober. Great, funny film. I haven't seen this in a long time. Definitely, I will be catching it this weekend because it's been a while. Like I said, there's sometimes you may have not seen a particular movie in a while, or you've never seen it before. I strive for you to watch this. This is one of Don Knotts' funniest movies that he's done. He's done a slew of them. The Incredible Mr. Limpet, and then of course going over to Private Eyes, which is a more recent movie to the 80s, which is a funny movie, crazy funny movie with Don Knotts on there. Like I said, I challenge you, grab these classics because there's going to be a point where they'll be hard to see, you know. This movie came out back in January of 1966, and it was always a favorite by many of those who love nostalgic movies. So that's the movie for the week. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget, you can subscribe, hit that subscription button, hit that like, share this video. That's very important to share this video. You know, a lot of people out there don't realize we're here yet because basically the algorithms keep us back. Yes, you can find us on various social media platforms like ODYSEE, Gab, Minds, BitChute, Facebook, Twitter. You'll find us on various platforms where you can comment. Some of them you'll be able to watch our videos there if you feel uncomfortable watching it on a certain particular social media platform. So we are spread out so you'll be able to enjoy. Once again, thank you for tuning in. As we start to edge into the Saturday, it's the beginning of May. You know, enjoy the weather. The weather is starting to peak a bit, especially on the East Coast. The weathers have starting to hit the 70s and 80 degrees, which is great on there. Don't forget, we also have new shirts at our Teespring site. Do check them out. Remember, all the proceeds that we get from our Teespring sales does go to help this channel, to help build this channel to be bigger, better, faster every day. Don't forget to check out Madman with the Show every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And we here at Saturday Pre-Flight are here every Friday night, 10 p.m. Eastern, at your leisure. You can watch it later on. If you can't make it here at 10 p.m., hey, catch it a little bit later. But do enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your Saturday morning cartoons. Enjoy your Svengoolie in the evening and your Sci-Fi Saturday night. And overall, have a safe and enjoyable weekend. Do at least try to get out there. And like I said, I challenge you, buy physical media and check out something nostalgic that you think that you might have not watched before, that you wouldn't think that you would try, but try it anyway. You might enjoy it. Until next time, bye-bye now. Oh, and before we go, don't forget to check out our new Teespring shop, our Q2Cast shop, and at our new address, Shop Q2Cast, where you could check out our new anime shirts that we have out. Anime shirts, pillows, just in time for the spring and summer. Go check them out. And we have some of our classics still available there from our TV shows. And we have more t-shirts on the way. We're redesigning the Q2Cast shop, our merch shop. We have a lot more coming. So do check us out. That's shopq2cast.com. One more time, that's shopq2cast.com. It is up and available just for you. And remember, all proceeds go to help this channel.